Welcome back to Is It the Juice Worth the Squeeze? I'm Jim. Kyle. We're here at Puzzles Bar, and we are tasting some Penelope bottles tonight. We're going to start out with the Weeded, which is a recent release. I think it came out around late November.
Yeah.
And then Havana we'll get into, and that just came out this past January, around the same time as our first video. Sorry we had a little hiatus.
Yep.
Schedules weren't lining up. Everybody seems to have some sickness going on, and now we're all better from all that. So, cheers to that.
Cheers.
Let's get into the Weeded. We are filming in front of a live studio audience.
We are today.
So if you hear a little commotion, it's those kids. So the Weeded is 95 proof, which is it's a 4-grain, non-chill filtered, 47.5% alcohol by volume, and it retails between 35 and 40. I've seen it on secondary. When it first came out, it was high. It was like 75, 80. Currently, I've seen it going for 50 for places that haven't gotten it.
Yeah.
And I have recognized when it hits the shelf, it's off the shelf. Like, it's gone as soon as it hits. So, if you can find it, I would try it, as long as you're finding it in that retail zone.
Well, our local liquor store had it just recently. You walked in, it was sitting there for you.
Yes.
And I walked in probably right behind you, probably the same day probably,
it was
and it was gone. Yeah. I mean, it was nothing on the shelf left. Well, what's your opinion on this?
I'm getting butterscotch. Like, that's almost the only flavor I'm getting from this. You can taste the oak. For 95 proof, it's super smooth. Got nice lacing.
It's not bad for 35, 40 bucks.
Right.
Just put it that way.
And I picked it up for 32.
It's a good steal.
So
it's a good steal.
I recommend this one.
It's a good Weeded.
Right.
It is. It's a decent Weeded. I mean, we're not going to compare it to OWA, but it's price. Its price point is perfect.
It's better than the Special Reserve Weller if you want to go there.
Oh, for sure, 100%.
So,
yeah.
There's some other weeds we recently had. Green River Weeded. It's probably on par with that.
Yeah.
And I want to say that's a $45, $50 bottle. So if you can find it, it's a good steal.
That's pretty decent. Pretty decent for the price range that we're looking into.
It'd make nice mixers too.
Oh, old fashioned would be great.
Yeah.
Smoked.
Yeah.
A little more smoke in there, it'd probably be even better.
Because I think the butterscotch flavor would do well with that citrus you would add with your bitters.
Yeah. I was thirsty to say. I haven't had no bourbon in a couple days, so.
Well, you want to pour the Havana?
All right.
So, Havana. It's a double barrel finished bourbon that was finished in maple syrup barrels and rum barrels from the Caribbean, which Havana's from Cuba, so I would believe it's from Cuban rum, known as Havana Club. It's out of their Cooper series. Retail is around $70. I haven't found it for $70. I haven't found it. Luckily, Kyle found it.
Our great liquor store that we have that, God bless them, I'm not going to mention it because I like to have my bottles for us. So, but it is a local to us. I happen to walk in and, you know, it's pays to go into a liquor store constantly to show your face, to get to know everybody. They tend to hold bottles for you more. And so be it. I walked in on a Friday at 5. And I say, hey, what do you got? And he's like, I got a Havana for you. And I was like, yeah, I'll take that.
And my wife was there 2 hours earlier, and he said, we ain't got nothing. So, he knows us better than he knows the wives.
Yeah.
Maybe we should shop with them and
so they can stop in, so we don't have to keep traveling that way.
Right,
but
especially when they're driving past it.
But yeah, so I've seen this bottle. Secondary right now is 150, 160, and it's a constant 150,
And
160.
when it first came out, about 6, 7 weeks ago, it was sitting at 250, 275. It did drop. One buddy picked it up for 180, like
Yeah.
towards the end of January. In fact, I think his delivered the day after the Super Bowl. This is part of their Cooper series, which I think
Yeah, that's Cooper also.
Valencia is a
Yep.
Cooper, Rio's a Cooper. Cooper series to us is a dessert.
Yeah, this is if you've never had it, this tastes straight up like maple syrup. It is sweet. This is a good go to bed bourbon. The taste that lingers in this is great for your palate. I believe it is. I really enjoy Rio though. I know we did. You did too. So
That might make an appearance on here at some point.
yeah, this is if you can find it, I wouldn't go nuts for it though. If you really want to taste it, maybe buy a 2-ounce pour from somebody just to taste it. If you're not into that sweet bourbon, maybe this ain't for you. But this is great for dessert for me.
And I know people have issues with Rio because of the Amburana flavors.
Oh yeah.
Well, if you like pancakes, you're there. Rum and Coke. I'm getting the rum on the finish. Bourbon is great. Not getting much oak characters out of this, like you would with the wheated or the barrel strength, toasted.
I think it's well balanced.
It is.
I believe it's well balanced. That's what my taste buds are telling me. It's well balanced all throughout. You're not getting overpowered by one or the other. I know that's a knock on Rio a little bit. Most people is the Amburano.
Mm-hmm.
It's overpowering the Rio or the bourbon in there. So, this is fantastic if you can find it. Man, 120, 130, I'd probably go.
Yeah, I could see that.
If you really want the bottle, this is where I would pay the secondary price or right in between. Now that bottle that we have sitting here, I got it less than right on the 90 mark. So, I think it goes for what, 79, 80?
I think retail's around 70.
70. So
Yeah, I want to say that's what I saw it at with the Total Wine I was shopping.
All right.
That's not near us.
I've seen it for 64 just recently, and I was just we had a conversation earlier yesterday about this. 64, but good luck. Most of them are going to Bourbon Fest and handing out bottles or letting people taste it. So,
End of year raffles.
yeah, end of year raffles. A lot of people I just seen pulling raffles for this now. So
It's allocated. It's not easy to get. I think there's only 6,000 bottles.
And I was talking to a liquor manager. I didn't talk to you yet about this. They only released in our area, out of like 300 accounts, like 6 boxes full. That's it. So whatever comes in a case, that's all they released for this area.
I know Texas got the mother load.
Well, Florida it looks like they had a lot too. Florida's loaded.
Florida just got their Penelope drop.
Yeah.
But these aren't the only bottles that are just coming out. They also had an Architect Creme Brulee,
Oh,
the Toasted Marshmallow Toast, which they're all one-offs, but they are extremely hard to find.
and that's on its way. We'll have to do another Penelope video down in the future with.
That's why I've marked this as Penelope Night 1.
Yeah, we got a lot of Penelopes to try. It's becoming one of my favorite bourbons.
Yeah, I mean,
And-
I've got quite a bit of collection of
Yeah,
Penelope.
you do. Yeah, you started off, and I kind of, I won that reel on that raffle, and then you started buying like a lot of them, and it's just been really good bourbon.
I met one of the Penelope reps down in the Total Wine in Knoxville. He opened up Toasted Rye. It was like the first store to ever get it.
Smells like maple
And
syrup.
that day, I just pulled the trigger, bought the bottle. It's one of my favorite bottles.
Yeah.
And what is weird is normally people buy their brand from MGP. MGP went and bought Penelope. And Penelope was located in Brooklyn, New York, and now it's MGP owned. So MGP's out of Indiana. And a lot of no-name distilleries are using MGP products to get their name out. So MGP's mass producing things for them, and that's how they get their start.
I think even big name companies still use MGP to make their product because they can't keep up with demand.
I know Smoke Wagon was out of MGP,
Yeah.
but now I think everything from them is out of Vegas, Nevada.
Penelope, worth it. Both bottles, I would say worth it.
I'd stay a touch under secondary for both.
Yeah, I mean, I have a
But-
feeling we're going to find Weed It here shortly on the shelves where it's going to be a staple where you're just going to go to the shelf and grab it.
Yeah.
This here, Havana, I think it's going to be one of those bottles where it's going to be hit and miss, right? Your store might have it, your store might not have it.
And if this is an annual release, they haven't announced it yet, but if it is, you may get lucky to get your hands on one at the next release.
Yeah.
One thing I have noticed between batches like 1, 2, and 3 of Rio that we've had,
2 was good.
you had 2, I've had all of them.
Yeah.
I own a bottle of 3 at home.
Yep.
The 3 is not. It didn't live up to the 2.
That
Rio 1
was phenomenal.
made me want to get a bottle as soon as possible, and he ended up getting the 2, and then I ended up trading for a 3. I don't feel like I've lost that trade because it's still a great bottle, but
I think, yeah, it's still good.
nowadays this is probably a go-to over Rio probably for both of us.
Oh, for sure, yeah. That taste, that linger in there, doesn't have that nasty bourbon back end
Right.
on some bottles that you will taste, and it's just like, this is disgusting. But this one here, it got that nice sweet taste. I mean, if you're not into sweet, probably the bottle's out for you because it is pretty sweet. I'm not going to deny it. So.
I mean, that's a lot of people's issues with the Rio too. Is it's too
Sweet.
sweet because of the honey.
Yeah.
It's a honey and Amarana bottle.
Right.
So I know we've talked a lot about Rio, but to me,
I'll take the Havana.
I would.
I really would.
I would. And
Yeah.
I've actually got a bottle of if they've used Cuban rum barrels, I've got a bottle of that at home, the Havana Club 7-year. And we've sipped on that before, and it's a great sipper. So I could see where this has drawn those flavors from.
Absolutely. Yep.
So I think that's all we've got this week.
For Penelope, yeah.
Yeah. And we'll definitely have more Penelope episodes coming up.
Yeah, we will. I'm looking out for that 17. That 17 is going to be on the shelf soon, so let's see if we can grab one. We'll do a battle of, older Penelopes if we can. So.
Yeah. You all with because they changed their bottles. Like I know we've got the estate here in Valencia, but I know barrel strength. I've got one of the original barrel strength bottles, and it's in black ink, and now it's in orange because I've got the new one too. So
Hide it out on me, huh?
I don't know if I've even opened that bottle. It's something I ordered from California because I threw it in the box. Because ordered my wife some rum, so she's a rum drinker, and she's tasted some bourbons, and occasionally she'll like one. She'd probably do okay with that.
She probably like that one.
She may.
I tried to get my wife to drink it last night, and it wasn't happening. She still doesn't like it. Maybe I think it's just a bourbon thing at this point. So.
I don't want to waste the pour on.
I let her sip it out of my cup. Let's just not get it twisted here.
About a week ago, I had a buddy over, and he left us a Evan Williams 12 pour, and I haven't even brought it over here to drink it with him yet. But while I was filling the dram, for those that don't know, I was filling that up. She goes, "Well, let me taste it." So I poured a little in a Glenfor, and basically just a splash. And once it hit her lips, she was like, "Nope, nope. I think it's gonna kill me."
Yeah,
so,
it requires a taste.
I did get a little taste of it because she didn't.
Was it good?
Yeah, I can't wait to open it.
Oh, all right. That's for another video.
I don't know if that's even to see a video. But if you guys want to send us some, reach out to us in the comments, and we will gladly review
anything. Pretty much, just send it. I love bourbon, as you can tell. Got close to 150 bottles, 160 bottles right now sitting here.
I'm sorry.
I know. I blame this guy here. That was never bourbon until I went to his house, but I think we talked about that at first episode. Yeah, send us bottles. We'll taste test them. We'll review them, and we'll go from there.
Yep. And that's all we got this week. Please drink responsibly and go find some Penelope.
Yeah, go find
tonight.
it. Search. It's a fun thing to do. So, search, guys.